Hey everybody, Phil from No Code Ops here. Of course, I'm joined by my co-star Izzy, who's really excited today because we are joined by Tilo and Gero from Levity, which is a no-code workflow automation tool that leverages AI. So it's super exciting, reduces a ton of manual work. Tilo and Gero, welcome to the AHA demo. Great to have you both.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah. So what I'd love to do is just hop right in. And if you could tell us about a situation that one of your ideal customers would be in before approaching Levity. Would love to hear about that.
Sure. So Levity is a great platform for any process that involves unstructured data, meaning documents, images, or just raw text in some kind of business process. So like a perfect customer example could be, for example, a company collecting dozens of different document types across different markets in a single location, let's say in a Salesforce drop-off platform from partners. And usually that process might involve, people from the company looking at these documents, determining what kind of document is it? Is it an invoice? Is it a CV? Is it a payment order? Is it a quote, whatever, and then tagging it the right way so that it can further be processed in that CRM system, for example. So this is an actual customer case and like a very good example of what it can do. And in that case, that process of recognizing a document and then triggering the right workflow, this is something that Levity can help companies with by allowing them to train their own custom AI solution on identifying different document types in that case. And which is something that is hard to automate with rules. So that's where the AI comes in.
Got it. So let me break it down. So I actually have dealt with this in the past at the company I was at before Compass. I was at Get, and I worked in driver onboarding and driver services. And so one of the things we'd have all of the time is drivers would just email us, our general support queue with just like, just a picture of their updated license or their updated TLC license or updated insurance. And then, someone would go into our Dropbox or the emails and just like manually organize everything. So what would happen in this case, I'm assuming, is that if all these documents just were emailed to one queue, Levity could get in there somehow and say, okay, well, here's all of your driver's licenses. Here's all of your insurance certificates. Here's all of your TLC licenses. It would be able to separate those based on past learnings. Is that a fair summation?
That's correct. And you could even combine different things, right? If you have a email address that is just saying, send us anything, and first you have to find out whether they want to report a bug or they want to send out the driver's license, you can have one kind of broad AI model that just looks at what they're talking about. And then once okay, this is about the driver's license, then you can look at the attachment and see, okay, is this actually a driver? So you can chain things
to figure that out.
Exactly. You can first have the NLP and then have the computer vision in like a second or any subsequent step.
Got it. And can you read any information like OCR-wise off the document?
So, we cannot extract any information at the current time. So if you were to, let's say, if you wanted to extract all of the driver licenses, I don't know, numbers from the document every single time, that's something that we couldn't offer you at the current time. However, the kind of text from the document is also taken in consideration when it comes to categorizing and classifying these documents.
Got it. So it can be used for sorting, but not necessarily pulling data, extracting data at this point.
Exactly. So if you would want to categorize like different CVs for, is there's a person for a business role or a product role or an engineering role, this is, for example, something that it could learn, but not extracting the name of the university, for example.
Sounds good to me. Sounds like a roadmap item.
Definitely.
Cool. So what I'd love to do now is just hop into a demo of how the product works. So if one of you want to share your screen, we'd love to just jump right in.
Let's do it.
Right.
Cool.
And I think, if you just go to present now, there we go.
Awesome. Cool. So here we are in our product. It basically has two parts, AI blocks and flows. And so you asked us to kind of show that part that we described, right? The documents part.
Yes.
And let's go into that right now. So this is now even based on a template. So like users, whenever they log into their accounts and they don't have like 10 different AI blocks trained like I have here, they would see the templates from the bottom. And let's pick one of those, which would, for example, be PDF documents classification. And in that case, it's about 3 different types of PDF documents. It's about receipts, invoices, and resumes. And what we're doing here, basically, in the label section here is we are basically defining the 3 different types of things, or it could also be 5 or 10 or 50, that we want the AI to learn to identify. So in that case, it's receipts, invoices, and resumes. And here, for example, we can see that here, all of those, we uploaded 222 kind of receipts, bills. We uploaded 105 invoices, and we uploaded some 100 resumes here, for example, 197. So
and so
based
just
on
out
that,
of curiosity, to pause right there for a moment. So let's say I'm a business, like I'm the business owner of this process, right, where I'm manually sorting all of this stuff. If I, in the past, have all of these folders, you know, of like all these separated documents that I've manually done, I could just upload them here for it to be learned, correct?
Exactly. So if you have that process with that drop-off location, either, you know, in a Dropbox or in a CRM system or wherever, you could just go in there, pick all of the past data, all the past invoices, all the past CVs, all the past quotes, whatever, and you would just upload them here in the respective categories. Then in the next step, we can head here now. So I won't take long, like 5 minutes, but I think we have like better things to discuss. Here, with the click of a button, you could basically just train your own AI on your own set of documents right now, so that it learns how to identify these. What makes them, you know, what makes a CV, what makes an invoice. Whatever. So we could just retrain it here in a few minutes. In that case, it's already trained. It's working pretty well, like performance 98%. And then in the next step, we could test it here basically. And you know, let me get something here. So if I go, for example, to my,
you guys are making AI and machine learning so accessible in a no-code capacity. This is amazing.
That's great to hear. So, you know, if, for example, we go in here now, and I have some files in my download folder, so like invoices, for example, and if I pick like, you know, an invoice and drop it here.
Oh, this is great.
Then the AI would identify, okay, this is an invoice. So now this is just the testing environment, but then you can, you know, integrate it into your process in various ways. So we have, you know, a REST API that comes with the AI block itself. We have also integrations to Zapier and Integromat and to Bubble. And we also have like our own flows platform, which is, you know, in most cases, the best option to go with.
Incredible. This is great. I love it. So let me ask you this. Let's say somebody starts emailing a new type of document to that general email. It's not an invoice. It's not a receipt. It's not the third kind, right? Let's say they just start emailing driver's licenses, right? How would someone go about getting flagged that that's like even happening, that, you know, and then how would they make an update?
Yeah, I mean, generally, the best option here would be to include human review. So the way that this would work is that you would just set up the maximum error rate you would tolerate, and based on that, it would put everything where the AI is not sure enough into a queue. So basically, let me show this to you, because this one works pretty well. Let me show this to you in this case here, for example. So this is now a text-based AI blocks identifying negative and positive book reviews. So we not only do documents, but images and text as well. And if we would head here into human review, you would see that based on a 5% maximum error rate, 0.5% of stuff would be shown to a human. And if we decrease that rate and set it, let's say, down to 1%, you would see that more stuff will be shown to a human, because the cutoff rate to which the AI needs to be sure will basically increase.
Once I'm assuming it's approved or rejected by a human in Slack, it's then also helping the model itself, correct?
Exactly. So we have a Slack integration. There you would get set the document. You can click on, okay, yeah, this is an invoice, for example, and then the AI would learn. Or in case it's nothing of these 5, then you could say, hey, there's something else, and it would be put into the something else folder. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. And I've kind of teased you about the Flows platform a bit. So here, for example, I know you're a workflow lover and you're a Slack lover, you're a Zapier lover. So here, for example, on our own Flows platform, you can then combine different different integrations with AI blocks. So in this case, it's again unrelated, but just showing kind of what the platform can do. So in this case, it's about images. Whenever a new image gets uploaded to Dropbox, for example, our platform would pull it, would look at it, would identify which kind of animal type it is. And if it's a dog, for example, a second AI block could look at it and identify which dog breed is it. And then it would only, let's say, put the corgis in a Google spreadsheet, or a central file drop-off location where documents come in. We identify, is it a CV, is it an invoice, is it a bill? If it's an invoice, identify whether the invoice is above $100 or below $100, or if it's a CV, engineering, business, product, whatever. So you can build really multi-step AI-powered processes that allow you to go in there deep and to trigger also different actions based on what the AI identified, like put all of the invoices into the invoice Dropbox folder, put all of the CVs into Workable, and all of the quotes into Salesforce, whatever.
If under $100, automatically approve. If over $100, look at the department and see who needs to approve it, put it in their Slack channel, that type of stuff.
Exactly.
Amazing. Well, this is great. Yeah, I am super excited to watch y'all grow and learn more. This is really exciting. I know you guys just got a huge round of funding recently, so congrats. Very, very exciting to see all of the progress on this front. And yeah, thanks for joining us today. If you want to learn more about Levity, what should people do?
Well, first and foremost, sign up on our website. We love to hear about new use cases. We're basically opening up the platform to more and more people on a daily basis. And the only requirement is that people have a concrete use case they would like to go for. So I would say sign up or shout us out on Twitter. Tell us about the use case that you're going for, and we would be happy to onboard you as long as we can cover it.
Amazing. Well, thank you both so much. And yeah, thanks everybody. Don't forget to do all of the things on YouTube, like, subscribe, bell thing. I don't know, I'm still new to YouTube. So do all of those things. Great.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Cheers.